Hello everyone and welcome back to Passion Sundays, the best way to end the week and start another. Our guest today has been called the corporate mechanic. He's working on his PhD in behavioral science and he's going to tell us how that impacts passion in organizations. Todd Hutchison, how are you?
Great, thanks for having me here.
Thank you very much for being with us. I'm really excited first. How do you get that corporate mechanic title?
Well, actually, as a troubleshooter, I've always gone into organisations and worked out, what their barriers are. In fact, I call it a garage door, looking for what the garage door that's actually slowing them up there, which is really an inhibitor and barrier to what's causing them not to grow.
All right, and then you slowly started troubleshooting, and then that whole thing came up. And where did that passion for troubleshooting start?
I come from an engineering background, so I was all started as technical, but when I went into organisation and working internationally, I realised it wasn't really about the technical side, it was really about the people side. So I started spending a lot more time developing myself, looking at the people and the psychology of what's causing things to work and what causes them not to work from a team perspective.
Okay, and that must have been a tough journey as you're doing that, because the more you troubleshoot, the more you start seeing troubles. And then you start seeing more difficulties and issues. Didn't that bring you down?
I think I realised that they go hand in hand. So process guides behaviour. So I could still focus on the process that was missing, that gave me that technical, the engineering side, but realising it was giving an impact on how performance and the people's passion in the actual job themselves.
So how does the people's passion relate to the behaviour in the organisation?
Well, it comes down to what I call flow. Flow is where people do things more efficiently, more effective. And it actually comes back, what I have found through my studies, on their actual natural behavioural style. So if you look at a person's goals and passions and then align it to their natural behavioural style, I believe that's the path where they should be on. That helps me dictate what job they should be in, how they play their job. And because of that, that's when people talk about, have you got the right person in the right job? Often I find you could be in the right job, but you just don't know how to bring that talent to that job.
And how do you bring a talent of somebody who likes what they're doing but are frustrated from the organizational situation for whatever reason? It might be the management, might be the system, might be their colleagues, might be the economical situation. Yes. How do you bring back that passion?
I think it comes down to the most common thing I hear about it as an issue is communications. We're having communications issues. And I go on a golden rule that says in the absence of information, people are making up stories, and very rarely are they positive. So often the issues with management is an information flow, is the right information getting at the right time to the right people. And when it's not, people are making up stories, and hence the basis of rumours. So a lot of it's actually getting them to be more accountable for what they're doing. So even if you're in a highly political environment, just focus on what you're supposed to be doing and what your job is, and bring accountability to that can decrease the stress you have in terms of the politics and everything that sits around you.
Okay, and what if it's the total opposite situation where you come into a company and you find somebody who's really not passionate about what they're doing? What's the solution for that?
I often look at, I use behavioural profiling to start to work out what their natural style is, and the tools have got to a point now you can find out what not only what their natural style is, but what they're doing, which is called their adapted behaviour. And obviously from a coaching perspective, you align those back together. But one of the key little tips you can do is look at in your life what you're doing outside, in your hobbies and your private time, and work out how you can corporise that. So for example, if I come across a person that really loves reading, loves writing, then there's a lot of times people want someone to review documents, to write the reports. So you try and link what they're doing outside that, because that's totally aligned typically to their natural behavioural style. But people may not see it, so you've got to actually have that conversation, find out what they're doing, and then bring it into the workplace.
So from what I'm gathering from you, flow comes from finding what you already like and then merging that with what you're already doing.
I use the term flow really based on your behaviour style. And I find actually there's 4 complexities to the human being. Behaviour is the core one where you're born with, but you can adapt based on the environment you're in, the jobs you've actually been taken up. So you've got to kind of line that back, and that's why we use things like behavioural profiling. The second one is, of course, our communication style, whether the person's more visual, auditory or kinesthetic. That tells us where we click with people, so that's a key part. But the other 2 layers is your personal knowledge and expertise in your job. But the most important one, which is the most hardest to identify when you bring someone into the organisation, is their values and belief systems. And that's why we can say you can hire them because you see their behaviour style, you see their knowledge and expertise, but you let them go because there's a misalignment with values.
I love it. I can see your eyes shining when you're talking about it. So I know why you've earned the corporate mechanic title. So Todd, thank you very much for being with us today. I really love your passion for what you do.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Awesome. Passion. What do you think? I would really love to hear your opinion. If you found this episode useful, leave your comments on the blog below and do share it with your friends. And if you'd like more tools, tips, techniques, and exclusive interviews that I only share on my blog, go to Moustafa.com. And until next episode, live passionately.